From desert nights to arena lights, Tucks up Utah, it's time to write. Coyotes in the bind, Tempe folks said no to the bill. Dreams of a new barn, city ballots got it killed. Mullet was a shoebox.
Have you heard my Utah Mammoth song?
I have not.
No. Ice is ready. You need to send me that. Did you do it? Did AI do it? What did you do? For everybody that's on Riverside, I'm talking on to one of the guys on TikTok right now.
There I am.
There you are.
Sweet.
Lock up, Ice is ready, Tusk up, Mammoth. Dude, if you can, send that to me. I would love to get it on here. If you don't mind me playing it. That's up to you. But yeah, you can definitely DM it to me. And if you give me rights, I'm not going to steal the rights from you, but if you give me permission, I can go ahead and put it up on both of my YouTubes for Tundra Talk and then also for Ice Bag.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah. Send me a DM. Ice is ready. I really want to see that. I want to hear it. So, welcome everybody to a fantastic night. This is day 2. Was it day 2 or day 3 of the free agency?
3, yeah, technically 3.
Yeah,
because you would consider the first day. So
yeah, and what a
crazy few days.
Oh. So let's start off. It was quiet. It was eerie quiet on our end. And then all of a sudden, bing, bang, boom.
Everything all at once.
Yeah, we get 2 big time people coming to Utah to slam it down and take the brunt of these hits that Vegas was giving us in the playoffs, and we are time to give it back. That's what we want.
It is massive.
So
that Trocheck signing, I wrote about it on my blog, and I've chatted with friends that I thought Trocheck, a deal for him would have gone in at the trade deadline. I saw him potentially early March coming here. My thought process was going to be D. Simone, top prospect, and then like a first or second rounder, plus maybe a later, another year asset. When free agency came around, I kind of forgot about Trocheck just because I was like, hey, there are some that we can go with, and but it was still in my mind for months ago. So when the deal got done, I was ecstatic, and there's a couple of reasons why. Number one, Trocheck, I've watched as an Islander guy. You pay attention to the rivals, and the Rangers obviously are a rival there. Trocheck is that guy who really can just anchor things. He's a two-way player. He's very strong. He's very physical. Great defensively. Great offensively. PK, PP. 5-on-5. He's able to score shorthanded, which is amazing. Now we got Schmaltz who can do it, and we now have Trocheck that can do it. So you maybe split them up on 2 different PK lines. All of a sudden, PPs have to take a little bit back. That'll help our PK unit. Power play unit. He's going to win faceoffs. He's one of the best faceoff guys in the league, something that we've been desperately needing. So he shores up every single facet of this team. He shores up defensively. He shores up offensively. He shores up faceoffs, power plays, and he can fight. And he can win big battles on the boards, and he is not afraid to throw the body. This was the best signing, I think, that we've had in Utah Mammoth history. I think this signing is bigger than Sergachev. And, I mean, I got crap for saying that, but Sergachev was great for the defense, and he shored up the defense. Trocheck shores up everything. And then on top of that, you got rid of Sean Durzi. Now, we all know I have problems with Sean Durzi's defensive play, but Durzi's $6 million salary is gone. So we got rid of Durzi and some of the defensive liabilities. We got rid of a $6 million contract. We got Trocheck in for less than $6 million. It's like 5 and 5.6 or something like that. It's ridiculous.
5.6, yeah.
It's nuts. And then what we had to give up was Bedouin, who was looking good, and a third round pick. But if you look at it in these terms, we traded Trocheck plus a salary dump with Jersey, who was going to be hard to move anyway, for Bedouin and a third. That is phenomenal returns. Phenomenal returns. And there's a Rangers group that was like, oh yeah, the Rangers are going to love, having him, and he's going to be able to play with Fox. And it's like, dude, you're in for a hard time if you think that's what he's going to be bringing. So,
Yep.
but no, it's really good. I think that signing was, or that trade and everything with that was just absolutely fantastic. I don't think it could have gone better for us, unless we got someone other than, if we didn't give up Bedouin, we gave up someone who's a little bit, younger, maybe less developed. I mean, Bedouin was still developing, or I would have even fine giving up a first round pick, 2-3 years from now. But I think the Rangers banked on the fact that, first round pick in 3 years is going to be in the late 20s, maybe early 30s.
And to be quite honest, we were talking about this on my other show, and in reality,
Yep, Kevin, exactly. Yep.
we gave up a first, we gave up Jersey, who was a third, and we gave up a third round pick. So, in essence, for Trocheck, I think he was a third round pick as well. So 2/3 and a first. So in my book, it pays for itself. Hey, what's going on, Dan? Like you were saying, $6 million gone, 5.5 coming in. Then we have another signing that we're going to talk about here in a little second that I think is just a tad bit less than the Trocheck sign. And but we're going to stick on Trocheck right now. You hit it. Hey, what's going on, Kevin? Glad to see you here. You hit it.
Kevin, I'll be addressing all your questions later. Trust me, I've got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, and we are going to be talking about tease here in a little bit. So that's a little tease. So bear with us.
A tease. Tease.
tease. I love it. So it is. We got Trocheck for $1 million less on our books.
We got Jersey out of the system, and again, Jersey seems like a really nice guy and seemed to be decent overall. So I'm not talking about him personally. Professionally, man, every time Jersey had the puck on a stick, it was a life grenade to me. Because he would make a phenomenal play, and then 2 shifts later he would throw a D-to-D pass, and it would be picked off, and we'd have a 2-on-1 going the other way. Yeah. And so there was a lot of just inconsistencies there. And like I said, there's a lot of Rangers guys who are like, oh, he's going to be the second coming of Fox. And it's like, oh my God, you guys have no idea what you just did. So, but man, this is, I think, the best. I got crap because I said it's the best GM Bill Armstrong trade, period. But I mean, going back, obviously, he did really good with Arizona. But since the Mammoth era, this is the top trade, and I don't think anyone can tell me otherwise. I think this is the clearest.
I have to say that, yep, he's one of the best trades. This is going to sound really bad, but this is in the same sense of what John Check did with Lawson Krause when we got him, because I want to say we sent him a 6th or 7th round pick at the time to Florida for him.
Yep.
And
which is phenomenal value.
Yes,
phenomenal value.
Exactly.
So the only difference, the only thing I would say that's different between then is back then Arizona was developing. They were not making the playoffs consistently.
Yep.
This trade here not only impacts right now, but it impacts the future because Trocheck is also a leader on that team, which when I get to Anders Lee, I'll talk about him and his leadership too. But, we've got massive leadership bumps on there for a team that is ready to – it's already kind of made the jump. And Armstrong wants to push 100 points this year, which would have been a very hard move to do. And now it actually looks pretty feasible. And I think, someone said second in the division might be within reach. And that's a stretch because Dallas is still strong. Minnesota's still strong. But, I really think that we might not be even looking at the wild card next year. So
I was thinking about this on my drive to work today. And I was like, I wonder what's going to happen with Dallas. Is this Robertson deal going to fall through? Is it going to happen? Is there something that's going to happen? Are they going to trade him out to try to get somebody else? Are they still in the deal with Larkin? There's too many ifs, ands, or buts going on for the Dallas for us to say that we're going to be top above Dallas now. I don't know if we are or not. It all depends upon the next couple of weeks, but we're right there.
There's so much movement.
If Colorado, which did absolutely stupidly nothing this for the draft or even the free agency, they really didn't do anything. So they're going to be stalemate.
I think in a way Colorado didn't feel pressured because they were the President's Cup winner, right? Or President's Trophy winner, but they crapped the bed in the playoffs.
Exactly.
So you would think they would have made a move.
They got swept by what does everybody call it? The Pillow League, the Pillow Division.
Yeah.
So, So I have a feeling Colorado's not going to be as strong, and I'm going on record for that right now. Colorado is not going to be top in the Central. Sorry, I was pointing to the camera on TikTok.
Hey, you know what?
Yep.
That is a very bold statement. I don't agree with that because I think they're still going to have the core of their team. I think they're still going to do well. I think they still take the division, but I do not think they're President's Trophies winners next year. And I think this division top 4 is going to be a lot closer than having it run away with, by December. So I don't disagree, or I don't disagree that they're going to be a little bit worse. I do disagree. I think they're still going to take top of the division, but it's going to be a lot tighter. So
I'm going to say Minnesota's going to take the division.
I actually had Minnesota and Utah fighting for third and second. So depending on what Dallas does,
it's going to be Dallas and us. Even with Robertson, I think it's going to be Dallas or us. Minnesota's got their number now. They saw him, and yes, Kevin, I'm not saying that Colorado is not going to be good. They're going to be fantastic. They're going to be fighting for the Central Division. I just have a feeling that they are going to be number 2 in the end. So I think Minnesota's going to top them. So, but that's for another show.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's go on. We need to go to the second big announcement. Anders Lee, your boy.
Anders Lee. I needed to have worn my Islanders hat for this. Anders Lee is, in my mind, probably the best leadership pickup we've ever had. And to some people, I said it might even be more important than Trocheck for a couple of reasons. But Anders Lee brings everything. Anders Lee is older and slower, but the dude is absolutely stout as a unit. And why is that important? Because you have Daniil Boot. Now you have Belchez, 2 massive kids who need to know how to use their size, how to use their weight, how to use their ability to win against the boards. Because if you watch Anders Lee doesn't lose board battles very often. Anders Lee doesn't get moved from the slot very often. Anders Lee is Kevin, how loud did I scream? There's actually a tear in my eye. Believe it or not, I was that happy. But Anders Lee brings massive just bulk to a team that was just a pushover in a lot of areas. Anders Lee's leadership is something that you cannot question. He is not going to take over captaincy. There's an unwritten rule in the NHL that if one captain goes to another team, they're not going to give him captain, and he was never going to ask for it. But a little bit of a story. No, Dan, he wasn't traded. He actually was signed in free agency. Yeah. The Islanders only wanted him for like 1 or 2 years. Utah gave him 3, and he decided to come here for 3. So anyway, the thing about Anders Lee took over an Islanders team that was broken and shattered back in 2016, a team that was made fun of. I mean, I think it was The Athletic or Deadspin. It was Deadspin that said, hey, ranking all 31 teams in the New York Islanders. And it was like, oh, the New York Islanders are going to be so bad. It's going to be like the worst record you'll ever see. They're a laughingstock. And they went to the playoffs that year. Anders Lee took over captaincy of a broken team. He brought that team to the playoffs, and then he helped lead that team to 2 conference finals. They were in the playoffs more often than not with Lee as a captain. Yep. Lee was the second longest captain in Islander history, over 900 games with the team. And the Islanders are not a terrible franchise. I mean, they were for a while, but looking back historically, they were one of the most impressive franchises going back into the 80s. Anders
Oh
Lee's
yeah.
holds records and top tens for a team as stout as the Islanders. As a leader, he's phenomenal. As a locker room presence, he's phenomenal. His charity works in the city are amazing. I actually reached out because he does something called the Cancer Jam, which is something that is massive on Long Island that I really would love to help him get developed out here in Utah. Really community minded, really fan focused, an absolute phenomenal presence everywhere on the ice, off the ice, in the locker room, in the community, everywhere. And I don't think anybody can bring a presence that Anders Lee can bring. I think he's a one of a kind player. The Islanders were going to lose him. I was devastated as an Islander fan. Kevin, to your point, how happy was I? He went from my team to my team. It's like when Utah and Islanders won, first and fourth overall in the draft. I nothing could have been better for me. This is a situation where I'm sad, but I'm so happy at the same time. You guys, I'm going to love him too. You guys are going to love having Leon there. Is he going to be as impactful as Trocheck on the ice? No, but his mentorship, his leadership, if he can teach Belches and Boot to be the size players that they need to be, that alone is worth this signing. And I will go on record of saying, hey, I'm willing to pay $5 million to get those kids as core pieces, as big bodies for years to go. So,
well, I look at the 5.4 million that we were giving them, just like
it's not bad.
a $2.5 to $3 million 5 years ago. That's the same basic payment. So
third liner. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Brendan Moore when he played for Carolina.
With less punchable face.
the grit that he has on the ice and off the ice, and the love of the game on and off the ice, and then the love of the team and love of the fans. That's what I really I'm so excited for, is to have him there, because he is such a fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
One of my friends almost cried because he left, that he was leaving.
Dave?
Then he was like, "Oh my God, he's going to my second favorite team!" All excited. So it's amazing. A lot of this stuff that we get to see. Hey, Jack, welcome to the party.
Yeah, what my one of my good friends, Bob, he's one of the referees down for USA Hockey. He and I went to the team game, the scrimmage game yesterday, and he wore his Anders Lee jersey because Bob's from Long Island. Shocker, well, from the New York area. And so one of my friends out there is part of the Islanders group, and he wore his Lee jersey, and everyone's like, "Wow, you got a Lee jersey already?" And he's like, "I've had this for like 11 years, man." So he's in early, but
yeah.
Oh man,
it's
such a great move.
Yeah, I really before we'll talk about the one last guy that we picked up that was actually done today. Andrew Peeke, Peck. I don't even know how to pronounce his name.
I think it's Peeke. Yeah.
Yeah. Defensive man, 28 years old, coming to us from Boston. He was a free agency pickup. He played 77 games last year, 135 hits. So we have another 6'3", 200+ pound hitter. We need that. We need that grit. And 105 hits on the ice. That is huge.
And he played almost. I was looking because I remember seeing this. He was almost 20 minutes a night. Dude, he's going to be able to fill in. He's going to take the Ian Cole role plus some. It's amazing.
Yep. And the biggest thing about this is not how big he is. It's not how many games he played, how many block shots he had last year, or even how many hits he had. We got this guy for a freaking steal. $1 million on a 1-year contract for this type of player. He was the number 2 defensive guy on the Bruins. That is a huge, huge pickup. And
which is shocking to me that it's just $1 million. That's like, if I slipped a guy a $5, I mean, come on,
You know what that actually tells me? Anders Lee's coming here. Trocheck is coming here. And this Peeke guy is coming here. we are now a destination town.
But yeah, but look, Weaker, he waived a no trade clause to come here.
So did
We
Trocheck.
have it's one of those things. Smith's ownership, and I know we talked about this previously, but Smith's ownership has been so solid, and he's provided so much that it's just making Utah a destination.
It
So,
is.
hey, Kevin, really, really fast. I think Cooley is going to have a good year, and it's going to be interesting because I have been playing with rosters everywhere, and I'd love to see exactly how that plays out. But having a Trocheck center, having Cooley no longer need to be like the focus center, plus having Lee be able to and Trocheck both now with Peaky be able to like drop gloves because we had Liam O'Brien who was going to lose in a fight. We were going to have Stellan do give or take, and Tanev was really the only one. Now we've got big boys not afraid to fight. They're going to
Yep.
give Cooley a little bit more leeway. Cheap shots are going to have a lot less. I think he's going to have a much better year this year. I think he might not be the leader in points, though, Kevin. I know you said that. I think Gunther's still going to be, but I think Cooley's going to be a really close second, and his
I
contract is going
disagree.
to look gorgeous. You think he's going to be first?
Yep. I think he's going to be first. I think he's going to come out this year after all of it. From what I saw, and I follow him on on Insta, and he is trying to bulk up. He's trying to
Oh,
gain
that'd be
weight,
huge. Mm.
and that is going to be a huge,
You got
huge.
Anders Lee. Get Anders Lee to teach him his leg routine. If he gets
He,
anything, jeez.
he's our.
Anders' leg
We
is
don't
like,
need that boy to be any faster. He'll be too fast on the freaking ice. So, but yeah, but one of the things that now that we talked about all the free agencies that are coming here, Adam, I want you to talk about the young kids that you got to watch at the development camp.
yes, development camp was phenomenal. So I was fortunate enough to get to the game and see the kids play firsthand. During the game, Tija Ginla scored a hat trick, which you kind of expected him to do well. But
Yeah,
we also had really good performances from Belches, who did really well, and Gabe Smith, who really surprised me. So from what I see and from what I've heard, Tija Ginla should make opening night roster. I can see him being a third line, potentially. If knock on wood, he could be a second liner with Gunner and Cooley. Now that would be
Trocheck.
phenomenal if
See,
that was the case.
I think Trocheck's going to take the second line, but yeah,
Well, I had a couple of line combinations. We could chat about some
yeah,
of the ones I was thinking
yeah.
about,
We'll
but
talk about it.
Iginla should make the team and opening night roster, and he should be up. Period. He's one of the later developers, and I don't mean later developers as there's something wrong with him, but I mean time that the team took to develop him, and because of that, I think it's going to pay dividends here very quickly. So
Yeah,
Iginla, phenomenal. Gabe Smith. Now, a lot of people said Smith's game has picked up, and it has. Last year, I remember seeing him at the black and white game, as I think was what we call last year. And Smith had a really good development game. He had a pretty decent camp. I was fortunate to go to every game last year, and everything that happened this year a little bit different. But I saw him a bit on Monday during kind of the reps, and he looked all right. During the game, he was smart. He knew where to pass. He knew where to look. He knew how to beat the defender. He had a great shot. He scored on a penalty shot. He scored with a one timer, which I will give you a little clip of. I think I threw it up on my TikTok, but I'll give you a little clip if we could post that on the Riverside chat. And he just phenomenal ice, just vision on the ice. He played extremely well, extremely smart. If people don't know about Smith after that game, I am so high on where he is going to be in this organization. So I loved it. From some of the other things on there, Valentini. Valentini looks like the real deal, even though he's tiny. When he stood next to Belges, I felt like me, who's 5'8", standing next to my friend George, who's like 6'4". I was like, wow, those guys are kind of crazy together. Valentini's shot surprised me with how good it was in person. Valentini's vision surprised me with how well it was in person. I was very, very excited about him. He has to develop, though. He's small. He's got to just get those tools and build up a tool set a little bit more than a player like Belchez, who is a lot taller and a lot bigger than he is. But if we can get Valentini to develop, Valentini is going to be a superstar. And Valentini, yes, Amber. Oh my God. Okay,
I had
do
to
you
turn
see why I
my mic
married
off
her?
for that.
Yes.
I had to turn my mic off.
Yes.
I'm dying.
This is why I married her,
Valentini.
man. Valentini, tiny. But he was good. So, and she threw me off my game. Belchez. Belchez looks very good, but Belchez also does not look ready. And
Well,
what
he's
I
not.
mean
He's
by
going
that,
to NCAA, so we
yeah,
don't have him.
and what I mean by that really is he doesn't show all of the tools of being like, hey, I can make a jump early, right? He's not going to be a refined prospect. He needs to play, college potentially sometime in the AHL to
Yeah.
big. His skating ability was not the best, but he's a big guy, so you would expect sometimes the big guys don't have the best skating, which
Yep.
Simashev does, which is great. So he needed to get a little bit of he needs to refine on his skating. He needs to refine on his game vision. Now, granted, it's just a scrimmage, and people say it's just a scrimmage, but it matters for these kids, right? They still have pride, and some of his decision making was a little off. But at the same point, he was the youngest guy there, right? You've got
Yeah.
a lot of these guys who've been there for 2 or 3 development camps, and so I'm going to give him grace on that, but he definitely needs to work on that. A lot of promise on the kid, absolutely huge. They were doing a little face-off drill, and he was really good with the face-off drill. So that was kind of interesting to see. But really would like to see him develop. There is a lot of good things about him that I liked. A
Well,
little bit on the negatives. Oh, would you
well, I
say?
was going to say, even Bill Armstrong stated that his skating skills are not the greatest out there, but we got him because of the fact of the big net presence, the offensive side of it. The
Yep.
200-foot player, he's a little bit on the slower side, but he still gets back there. He still helps out, and he's always the first one up in the very front. So
So the two
he's going to be
signings that
there.
we, so the two signings that we have, Trocek, Lee. Look at the games he can model himself after. If he comes up in 3 years, or they give him a little bit of a stint, you've got two guys. If he can model his game after either one or half and half, that kid is going to be massively beneficial to his team. Like I said, that's why I think the Lee signing and that's why the Trocheck signing make me so damn happy
Yeah.
because because if Boot can learn from him with his big body and Belches, I think Belches can transition his game a little bit better into that because he is very physical. He did hit a lot during that game,
Yeah.
where Boot is not as physical. I think if Boot can be a little bit more two-way like Trocheck and Belches can be more like Lee, this team is contender for 8-10 years.
It, it
So
the worst problem I see 5, 6 years down the line is who do we put in, and which of these big names do we have scratched?
yeah, yeah. Sorry, we have 28 good
Unfortunately,
guys. Yeah, we're
we're
gonna.
going to come to
Yeah,
that in a few years.
yeah.
So, but right now, we're living the dream. Hi.
It's so great. It's so great. I do want to temper all the good news, though. The one player that really made me feel bad was Denoyer because I was watching Denoyer's game, and I really was hoping that he would be much closer to making it this year than last, and it looks like he's taken a couple of steps back. His vision making, his decision making seemed to be worse this year than last year.
Okay.
And last year he had a broken wrist, so I expected him to play a little bit scared last year during the development game. And again, it's a development game. Maybe you're not going all out for it, but it just seemed he was more shaky this year and a little less confident this year than previously. So he did score, so that was great. But just some of the decisions, I tend to watch a little bit more, how they interact against the D-man, how they're
Right.
they're placing defensively, and I was less than impressed with him, and I really hope he's able to kind of take that step this year because I would love to have him up next year. So that was kind of the one negative on that.
And that's fine with me if he comes up next year. I
Yeah, because
mean,
he's
if
got
we can
time.
get if we get Tej up, then that's great. We got one of our big guys up. Caleb will come up next. Boot's already
Or maybe
up, but
Smith.
he's
Yeah.
Boot or what do you call it? Not Caleb Dinaway and Gabe Smith. They come up next year, and this gives us time to actually train these guys and have our actual leaders, the Anders Lee, the Vincent Trocek, the Clayton Kellers, the Lawson Krause, Nick Schmaltz. These kids actually be able to learn from these guys over the last couple of years of their careers and go on. Because unfortunately, our guys that we absolutely love and respect now, they're getting older, just like we are getting older.
Don't remind me. Do not remind me, Doug. But
My spirit
Doug,
kicks
do you want?
every morning.
Yeah. Do you want me to bring a tear to your eye?
Yeah, go for it.
Who was the rookie that Anders Lee took care of last year that blossomed?
Oh,
Matthew Schaefer.
yeah, the little Schaefer kid. I don't know if he's actually going to make it in this industry or not.
He helped mentor and lead Matthew Schaefer. So just a little reminder that Teja Ginla is coming up this year. Now, is Teja Ginla going to be Matthew Schaefer? No, they play different positions. But Teja Ginla has, but they have, I mean, if you can give, because Keller is going to be the captain, right? But if Anders Lee can give any of the advice and any of the leadership that was able to be provided in the locker room that Schaefer got, dude, that should just make you very, very excited. So let's put that out there. So,
yeah.
Let's talk about the other side of the ice though, because we've talked about forwards, defensemen, right? Because we just signed Peaky, but it's a little bit lighter on the defense because we're bringing up Mavlam this year. We're going to be bringing up Simishev playing full time this year. So now our prospects are a little bit lighter out there, but there were three that I still like. Artem Duda did not make camp. I did not see him, so hopefully he's okay. But then we got Seneca. Max Seneca is really, really solid right now. His development has been very, very good. His playmaking has been good. He was standing there. He was going up against Belchez, for some of the hits. Now, granted, there's a couple year difference, but the two of them were jockeying for position. They had both the size and the ability. He had several good plays. He's got really good vision. I think he's going to develop. He's going to have a pretty good season in the A. I don't see him even coming up as a scratch call up, but I think once we look at Schmitty looking towards retirement, because Schmitty's in his mid 30s now, I think Seneca can come up and be that guy. I think in my mind, I think he's moved to the number one prospect overall. And then we look at one of the guys I like, Lavoie. I actually love that I have his jersey. Lavoie was looking really good. He actually did quite the same. He was very physical. His playmaking ability, his ability to play defense was very solid. He needs more time. I mean, he's been in the system for a while, and I think he needs another 2 years. But I can see him playing, second, third pairing more likely, but potentially second pairing in a couple of years. But Will Skahan also got on my radar too. Skahan had a really good camp. So there were three defensive prospects that, while we're, are they the best? Are they going to break in? Are they going to be, top tier defensemen? I don't think any of those guys are going to be clear number ones, but we definitely look like we have two or three serviceable second and third pairing guys out there.
Yeah. So Alex Smith actually posted the statement on TikTok. He thinks that Tej is actually going to start in Tucson next season, and I asked him why would he say that, and he actually has a very good remark here, stating that it's the smart thing to do. Not all first round picks start in the NHL. Actually, very rarely do first round picks ever start the game one. It's only been common in the last couple of years. But I actually think Tej will start just because of the fact of they'll give him the first 9 games as just a
the ELC,
yeah, and get to see how he actually skates with the actual big boys. He did, if I remember right, he did practice or he did skate with Tucson a little bit last season. Is that correct?
I think after the season was done for him, yes, I think.
Yeah, I think he did
but
a game or two.
Yeah. So 1.2, Alex, is in that draft class, every player above him in the draft class, save for one, has already gotten NHL experience, and a number of players below him in the draft have also gotten some NHL experience.
Yeah.
So the fact is, he is going to start. From what I've heard from some people that I know, the plan is to have him start at least the first couple of games in the NHL to start the year. Now, is he going to stick up there or move down? We don't know, but the plan is opening night roster. They do want to see what he can do. They do want to give him that time. All the other guys above him have had reps, so there's no reason not to start him out there. So that's kind of what it looks like. Is he going to stick? That's going to be the question. And Alex, to that point, do they play him out for his first year of the ELC? I don't know. They might put him down and let him bake more in the AHL. But if he plays anything like he's shown in his last couple of scrimmages, anything that he's shown in any of his game film, I don't think they stick him down after the 9 games. So
No. And also, we also have to remember that he did miss a year because of hip surgery, double hip surgery. So,
oh my God!
Actually,
speaking of that, his skating does not look like he's had hip surgery. His skating is great.
You know who his coach was for rehab, right?
No.
His dad.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gee, am I gonna be sad by working with Jerome McGinley? No, that works out.
Sorry, Dad, I'm not gonna work with you. Hey, what's up, Justin? Glad you joined us. Yeah, no
That's
kidding.
Crazy. That was almost a trick question, man.
And I got to give it up to the Igna family. All of his sons and daughter are now playing professional hockey.
Yeah. His brother, his other son got drafted to Calgary. So I'm going to be concerned in a couple of years. Is it going to be like a Hughes situation where they all want to go and play in the same organization? But you know what? We've got some time. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah,
we've got some time. So
not tonight, Justin. I appreciate you though. Yeah, we don't really bring too many guests on here. We just have you guys interact on the tiki-taki, as my wife calls it. So, but I'm going to bring it around to Kosa. Dan's one of my favorite people. He brought in Kosa. We signed him for $2 million for 2 years. 4 total. What a fucking steal.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm.
This kid is going to be a rock star in the NHL. He's going to be our number 1 goalie. And we have him right now for $2 million as a 1B.
You know what I think is absolutely phenomenal if we look at what the stages of this are. Hrabel, which is the goalie, he was at the scrimmage game, and I could talk about him in a little bit too. But we've got Veggie transitioning into Kosa. I think Kosa doesn't take full-time starting role this year, but I could see it next. If everything pans out, right? Yeah. So we transition from Veggie and Kosa to Kosa and Hrabel, and then whatever. We are, for all intents and knock on wood, so set in goal, which is a massive situation because goaltending and defense is what wins championships. And if you look at that, what do we have? Goaltending and defense. And we've got goaltending for years to come.
Hey, Matt, again, how's it going? Herbal is 21, if I remember right?
I think so. He just graduated college.
Yeah. Okay, so 21, 22. And Kosa's 23.
Yeah.
So, I'll be honest. I don't see Herbal going anywhere. I don't see Kosa going up. I'm too old to play.
Yeah.
Those two guys are our 1-2 punch for a long time.
A long time to come. The breakdown is going to be like a 48, 38 or 36 split, I think, in a couple of years. And I think the good thing about having that tandem is, and I'm looking down the road a little bit, but that's a ride the hot hand guy, right? Where you got the ability to, kind of like with Colorado, they had two good goalies. Now, obviously, they were a
Yep.
stacked team, but they had two good goalies. They could split between Wedgwood and Blackwood at any point, and either one of them were interchangeable, and either one of them were good. That I feel like if we develop everything properly is going to be the situation with Kosa and Hrabel. And Hrabel's going to be playing in the AHL this year. I had a conversation with a friend. I was like, well, hopefully he doesn't come up and, injuries wise, if something happens, and he's not going to. They actually have him a little further on the depth chart, but I do see him taking a good, lion's share of the starts this year in the A. And if they can get him going, they don't need to rush him either, which is the beautiful part of it. They can bring him up at their pace, at his pace, and I think the more time that you have to do that with kids, the better off you're going to be, especially with goalies who sometimes are voodoo.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I got to get up there. Jeez.
Yeah. You got to move here, man. You're going to love watching games out here.
The only reason why I'd hate to move up there is I would have no money because all my money went to season tickets.
I feel that.
Ryan
I
Smith
feel
would
that
take
in my
all my
wallet.
cash. Yeah. Can
Man.
I get a $100,000 loan so I can go to hockey games?
Season tickets for life. That'd be great.
Shoot, that's
Come
only
on,
going to
man.
be 2-3 years. Take my money. I agree with you, Kevin.
Oh my God. You know
Trust
what?
me,
Honestly,
it's almost
the
cheaper for
way
me to live up there, get it, than it is to fly up there for a couple games.
honestly, Kevin, take my money is exactly what it's going to be, especially with the way this team is going, because I have a feeling I'm going to be in financial trouble come next April, May, June, because we are going to be playing late in the playoffs. So,
Alex, yeah, yeah, maybe.
oh man,
The better, yep, the better they get, the more expensive it will be. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I
I
know.
mean, this year's playoff tickets were a little sticker shock on what they were looking at for the multiple rounds. But the Delta Center renovation, obviously, there's a lot of money going into it.
Oh yeah,
So it's, I don't know, the fan experience has already been great. And just, I think it's going to get better. But yes, it's definitely I need more clients situation with my company.
yeah. I can't wait to see Delta Center either. I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm half tempted to, since they've released the preseason game against Colorado, I was half tempted to try to get tickets for that and fly up there. But then I was like, if they go away for the first couple of games like they usually do, that means I'd have to fly back up there. So I'm waiting to
Yeah.
see.
Well, they also do one or two of the preseason games. They haven't scheduled yet, but they used to
Yeah,
do
they do.
Frozen
Schedule's
Fury.
out
Oh, it is? When did it come out?
like last week.
Why did I miss this? Now I feel like an
I don't
idiot.
know. We have two games against Colorado. One
No, no,
away.
those I know. I just don't know if they've scheduled when and where.
When is the time frame? No.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because
Yeah.
I was like, oh, because they did the Frozen Furies here with us.
Right.
The Frozen Furies here were before we had Utah and Colorado came, LA came. So I'm wondering if a Frozen Fury might go down to Arizona because that is
No.
a potential thing. But
San Jose's holding it, hosting it this year.
oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I already looked at
Ooh,
tickets to go out there, and that was already expensive. Are
there's
we
a good
surprised
question
about the
here
two
from Alex.
offer sheets for Carlson? Is that
Carlson
who
and
we're
Hayden, I would
talking about,
assume.
Alex? I'm not sure.
I would assume Carlson and Hayden.
Uh, I don't count Barrett Hayden as an offer sheet. You guys,
I mean, it's yeah,
bye.
yeah. It's a technical offer sheet, but the way I see it is, it's a second round pick trade. you know,
Well, he was a first round pick, so yeah. But
that doesn't matter. That
yeah,
does not matter.
he's done now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin,
My
what do
thing
you think
is,
about Barrett Hayden being offer sheeted? I would love to hear your opinions on that as well. Um, yeah, to be quite honest, in great kid. I wish all Barrett Hayden all the luck, and I really hope um, that we do not keep him because that means
Mm.
we have to play him for a full year up here, up in
Yeah.
Utah.
So the terms on that, I don't know, and you probably know this, but I'm going to say this more for maybe some of the people on TikTok that might not know, or people coming to our channel. Um, the Hayden deal is interesting because if we match the deal, we're paying, I think it was 425 or 475 for
Yeah,
what payment
we'll just
is.
say four and a
But
half.
yeah, let's say 4.5. We're paying 4.5 for Hayden, which is way more than he's worth, in my opinion. So we're going to overpay for Hayden, but we do have the cap space. So the financial on that, I'm not that worried because again, we saved a little bit of money with Trocheck signing, plus this Peaky deal. I mean, we're more than fine, but it handcuffs us because we cannot flip him at the deadline, and we would basically have him for a year, and then it's UFA, and then he's gone.
Yeah,
Get an asset. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
yeah,
and
Alex.
with our
Oh,
pickups, with our pickup of Lee, Trocheck, we're good. We're good in the center
mhm,
position right now.
yep.
So
Yeah, Kevin,
I
I
just
think
think
that's
yeah,
I think that's part of it. I think New Jersey basically was like, "Hey, we'll get him for cheaper by handcuffing you." But for me, it's like, you know what? Take the second.
yeah,
Every indication for me says no. On a professional level, Hayton would have been a fourth line center to me, and that would have been fill in. Then we re-signed Stenlund, so that was
yeah.
kind of a redundancy.
And that's one
You've
thing we
got
haven't talked about either is Kevin Stenlund coming back.
Yeah, I think the Kevin Stenlund signing is fine. Am I thrilled with it? I mean, it's not nearly a Trocheck signing or a Lee signing, but it's a solid depth signing, and I really, really like that.
And
For
he's
Hayden, like I
great on the
said,
fourth line. He's a
mhm,
decent leader,
shot blocker.
and
Mhm.
he's a shot blocker. So love it.
Yep. And so
It's
honestly, it comes down to asset management, right?
yeah,
Asset management for me is you are going to lose Hayton next year for nothing. You know he's going to walk. Get a pick, right? Don't
yep,
overpay for the kid and lock yourself into a spot. Don't overpay for the kid and screw yourself for your plans. Let him walk. And if he walks, that's fine. You know what? You have some depth in the AHL. You've got some people if you bring up. Rooney just resigned. If we need to pull up somebody and we want to give him some fourth line minutes because something happened with Stenlund, you got Rooney. You've got
yep,
options. Hayton's best value is off this team.
yep. And give him a new beginning. Have fun
Yeah, and good
and
luck to the
help
kid.
Devils get to where they need to go. So
Right down the toilet.
you're absolutely right, Kevin.
So
Yes. So we got just over 10 minutes left,
yeah. So
and
real fast.
Alex brought up one of the biggest. I don't want to say crock of
The,
shit, but one of the biggest things I've ever seen in my whole entire career of watching this stupid game that gives me a heart attack. Leo Carlson,
oh my god.
$18 million, 5 years. Does Anaheim match it, or do they let him walk
Well,
for three
I
first?
actually wanted to say this.
Three first.
It's four first
Oh,
actually.
that's right. It's four first. That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I just want to say real fast, I love the pettiness of this because if you think about it, they had the Cutter Gauthier and the Zegras drama, and this is just the third chapter of all of that drama. It is. I'm here for it. My wife likes Love Island, or she could post whatever Love Island, love something or other. She loves that drama. For me, this is hockey drama. You basically have these two teams. I mean, Zegras hates Anaheim right now, or they hate each other so much. It's just so fun. And now this offer sheet just so much action, so beautiful. Um, I like this from a strategic point of view for Philadelphia. I hate this for two reasons, but I love it for one. I hate this because it really screws the cap and it really screws asking value. What they're going to offer Carlson is more than Kiprasov. Kiprasov makes 17 million a year. People balked at that contract as, oh my god, that's so much. And now Carlson's looking at a million over that without necessarily even being that proven. Kid's still 21, 22, I think.
Yep.
He's had a good year and he's got a good ceiling, but it's still early in his career. 18 mil is phenomenal on what that's going to do with the salary cap. It basically blows the doors open on salary cap moving forward. So the great news for us with that is Gunther's signed. Cooley signed. We've got long-term contracts for a lot of these guys. Simashev is a concern when his contracts can come up if he's going to be there, but you don't let him get to RFA where you can get offer sheeted, right?
Right.
And then again, look, those are the two contracts I'm going to worry about with the contract or with the offer sheet like this. This offer sheet is a bombshell, though, because now it puts Anaheim in a very interesting situation because now Anaheim is either going to blow up their cap plans or get 4 first round picks. It's going to be interesting because for me, it's clear cut what happens with Hayton. For Anaheim, it's not. This is interesting because Philadelphia has the cap space. They need a center. If they get Carlson, yes. Do they screw up their cap space 3-4 years down the road? Yes, but it's a 5-year deal, so they could have maybe a year of cap problems. So Philadelphia makes a good move for what they need, and if it's rejected, there's no skin off their nose. If it's accepted and Anaheim gets 4 first picks, I don't like that for us here in Utah because the last thing I want to do is give a team that we're going to be fighting for potentially in wild card spots down the road, 3-4 years. I don't want them to get stuck, loaded and stacked. And I don't think Philadelphia is going to be a perennial playoff contender where they're getting 2 rounds in, where those first round picks for Anaheim are going to be anything in the low 20s. So I'm not happy about what it's going to do to the cap, and I'm not happy about what it's going to potentially do for us with the 4 first rounders. But if Anaheim does re-sign him, it really screws up their cap space. But if they don't re-sign him, it really screws up their plans for the short term. So I love that for us short term. I love what that means for us short term. I hate what that means for our potential cap signings down the road a little bit, and I don't like what that's going to mean potentially for either way that it goes in the league. So, but man, I love that drama.
Oh, and we're going to talk about another big drama case right now.
Mm-hmm.
Edmonton, free of $9 million, as San Jose has to pick it up in order for them to play in the NHL. I don't know if anybody knows that. But yeah, they would get fined. And so they pick up Darnell Nurse, which is fantastic
ridiculous.
for them.
Ridiculous,
I think it's
actually.
fantastic.
Oh, fantastic for Edmonton.
I think
Awful
it's fantastic for. I disagree. I totally disagree. This is going to be a good guy to help those young players develop all their young defensive players and get them up there ready to go. He let's be honest. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sharks are going to be an absolute problem this year. I actually thinking that Sharks might actually go to the Stanley Cup final. More on that probably next week. But him going there, I think he's going to regenerate his career. I think he's going to come out to the gate, and since he's in the same division, he is going to go right after that Edmonton team. And he's going to knock those guys right onto the ice. He's going to have no problem going right after McDavid. I have a feeling, and this does not leave this room, guys. This never leaves this room. Connor McDavid is a problem with Edmonton. His big head.
I don't disagree with that very much.
I think he's blaming this person. He's blaming that person. He blamed the coach. He's blaming this. He blames everybody but himself. And he's the freaking captain. You gotta blame 100%. Yourself. It's you. You are the leader.
Look at Keller for Lee. Look at Keller. Anytime there's a problem, it's brought in house. It's brought for me. I have a problem a lot of times when teams go, "You're my best player. You're going to be the captain," and that was the problem that they did in Edmonton. I do not think that that's a smart move all the time, right? I think down the road for like the Islanders, Schaefer could be captain, but he's got the personality for it. He's got the intelligence for it. He's got the ability to do it. Same with Lee. He had the personality for it. Was he the best player in the Islanders? No, Barzal was. Barzal is not even going to be the captain this year now that there's a hole. I think it's going to be Horvat because Horvat's got the intelligence, the maturity, the ability to talk to his peers, the ability to command respect. McDavid is a phenomenal player. I don't think he has the maturity. I don't think he has the leadership, and I don't think he garners the respect for who he is and the work ethic that he has. And I think that is the biggest problem in Edmonton right now. And I think you nailed it
I
because
agree.
him being the captain is a problem. So,
Yep. So,
but let's get real back to the Nurse situation. I am concerned for San Jose because to me, San Jose was the number one winner of the draft, not because they were second, but overall they drafted smart and made smart moves. San Jose had a phenomenal draft that made me very scared for their future. But this Nurse pickup, I was shaking my head. I'm like, what are they even thinking with no retention? There should have been some level of retention. They took that, and I'm scratching my head like, did I read that wrong? Was that
they
something
had
that
to get over that floor, the cap floor. And
it's just
so,
ridiculous? But
you
I
know
mean,
what?
you would think that they would have been able to get a king's ransom then out of it. Give us a couple of prospects that we really. I guess they don't really need the prospects either, but
They don't. They
it
they just wanted to get rid of the contract. That was basically it.
yeah. And
They
I mean,
needed to. That
it's
nine
just
million
crazy.
was holding them that back.
Yeah.
So
I mean, at least fleece Edmonton and get like a first round pick in 2032. But um, But so I look at their team right now, and they re-signed Truba, and Truba and Nurse together are making, I believe it's 17 million, 16.5 million for that pairing. That's not going to bode well for them. And I think the Sharks hurt themselves defensively with that move. Even though people are like, "Oh, Nurse is great," I think Nurse is very overrated for what he is. And I'm very low on Nurse, and I could be completely wrong. I could be biased as to why I think he's poor, but I think with the Sharks, my biggest question mark for them has been in net. Right? They went with Askakov, and I don't think he's the answer for them. I think he might be able to take them to the playoffs a bit, but I don't think he's ever going to be the number one answer for them. And I could be wrong because again, goalies tend to be voodoo a little bit. But now I think San Jose has hurt their blue line for a short term. Maybe they help with the development, but I really don't think Nurse and Truba can be a top line pairing that's going to be able to shut down other teams' top lines consistently. And I think what it comes down to for San Jose is every game is going to be a 7-6 shootout in the hopes that they can outscore their opponents versus what I think like Utah can do, where they can win 4-1 by clamping down, or they can win 6-5 by getting shootouts. So I think
yeah,
San Jose is going to be exciting to watch. I think San Jose is going to have a good future in 2 years. I think this defense is a big question mark for them this year. But
yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. Isaac just asked if the Ducks will match Flyers, and I really don't think that they will.
I don't know. I'm kind of 55-45 that they will, but this is a very interesting case of it's not Hayton. Again, it's not a clear cut second for Hayton. Bye.
I
It's not even like a Sebastian or not Sebastian. Was it Aho? I think that got offer sheeted previously, where it was like, all right, it's going to hurt her cap, but it's a no brainer, right? We'll take a little bit of a hurt. This is kind of poison pill a bit for Anaheim because there's short term incentives that push his value. That 18 million with the short term incentives next year, I think pushes it to a $23 million, $22 million cap hit. That hurts because they need to start making signings. And so I think they resign him, and I think they just kind of put themselves into a bad spot for a little bit. So we'll
yeah,
see. It'll be interesting. So
yep. So that puts us almost to our hour mark, guys.
yeah,
So
can we do another 2 hours? Because I can talk for another two.
this kid, who is really old, needs
You
to
need
get to
sleep.
bed. I got to get up bright and early again and go do this all over again tomorrow because I work retail. So,
Oh
but
man, but hey, we got next week and weeks after that.
yep,
There's
we
always some
do.
fun stuff to talk about.
Oh
So
yeah. So I want to say thank you to everybody. Put in the comments what you would like us to talk about next time. I would love to hear about it. I would, yeah. They can't lose him personally as a Kings fan. That helps us. You're a Kings fan, ha! So congratulations on your team. My guess is I have to ask you. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything negative to you, Isaac. Is your team going to be fourth, fifth, or sixth in the West or in the Pacific Division? I'd like to know. So, everybody, stay with us, TikTok. We're not going anywhere quite yet. Everybody here, I appreciate you. Come join us next week for another edition of Tundra Talk. All right, everybody.
I hope we'll have music next time.
Yeah, me too.
Take care, Nerves. Appreciate you.